Now that marriage equality is legal throughout the nation, it's worth noting that just about everyone who still opposes gay marriage does so for religious reasons. Unless God is telling you that two gay guys who love each other is icky, you're probably fine with it. Even a lot of Christians, especially younger Christians, understand that. But to the people of faith who still oppose gay marriage, I have a few questions for you. Why are you so insistent that we take the Bible literally on the subject of homosexuality, but you pretty much ignore what the Bible says regarding all the other sins? Why should our nation's laws follow your interpretation of your holy book? What's a bigger problem in your opinion? A gay couple getting married or a straight couple getting divorced? And if they're both sins, why do you spend so much more energy fighting gay marriage? Why are you so obsessed with what other couples do in the bedroom? You know, there are websites now that make that a whole lot easier. Do you think children are better off with two loving gay parents or two straight ones who fight all the time? Oh, wait. Would you rather a child live with a single Christian parent or a loving mother and father who are hardcore atheists? How's this? Why don't you just tell me your hierarchy of ideal parents and then tell me where loving gay parents rank on that list? How many close gay friends do you have? And if the answer is more than 0, how many of them do you think consider you one of their close friends? Because they don't. Trust me, they are just humoring you. How has your life changed since gay marriage became legal everywhere? Go ahead. I'll wait. I've heard some people say they oppose gay marriage because how are they supposed to explain that to their kids? That's ridiculous. Here, I'll do it for you. Two people love each other, so they got married. There, it's just that easy. You don't need a parenting class for that one. How long do you think it'll take before evangelical Christian churches finally embrace gay marriage? Because I give it a decade, probably less. Why do you think you failed so miserably when it comes to convincing everyone else in the country to uphold traditional marriage? Because you have. I mean, you are really struggling to convince other people that you have the moral high ground here. Do you blame the message or the messengers? Either way, why do you keep using the same arguments and promoting the same leaders? It's not working. How come the worst stories of discrimination that I ever hear coming from conservative Christians involve a bakery owner getting paid to make a cake that they really didn't want to make, while, like every LGBT person I have ever met, has a personal discrimination story that is so much worse than that? If you think the Supreme Court made the wrong decision and it's not fair for some unelected judges to overturn tradition, then why was it wrong when they overturned segregated schools? If you say marriage equality should have been left to individual states and voters, would you really have been okay if every state finally voted in favor of gay marriage? What if Congress voted to make marriage equality legal? Because that's where we were headed anyway. I mean, the Supreme Court just sped up the process. Why do you think God is really angry about gay marriage, but not nearly as upset about other really awful things like gun violence and racism and commenters on Reddit and poverty? What arguments can you make against gay marriage that don't involve citing Bible verses? Because every time you cite the Bible, it makes me care a little bit less about what you have to say. My life isn't ruled by the Bible. You're gonna have to do better than that. Does your church allow couples to get married if they're unable to have kids? Maybe they're too old or they can't have them for medical reasons. Here's a hint, you do. So why do you keep using this ridiculous argument that marriages only count if kids can be produced? What do you think the government's gonna force your church to do now that gay marriage is legal? Because the correct answer is nothing. You can keep doing whatever it is you were doing before. The ACLU has your back on this one. What are you gonna do with all the Christians who support gay marriage? Are they true Christians? Are they welcome in your church? Are you going to let them take over your church one day? If you oppose gay marriage and you oppose divorce, how do you feel about gay couples who get divorced? Is that like really, really upsetting? Or do two wrongs make a right and you're like super excited about that happening? Do you want gay couples to get divorced now that a lot of them are married? Will you do me a favor? If you're part of a church that defends traditional marriage, will you put up a sign in stone somewhere in your building that says, "We proudly opposed marriage equality"? Because I really do think that it won't be long before a lot of Christian churches come around on this issue. I mean, they're going to have to. I mean, it's a matter of survival so they don't lose all their members. And I don't want your church to be able to whitewash the past. I want your church to always admit how much damage it did to gays and lesbians in this country, even after its policies have changed. And that would be a good start. I mean, you can always change a website, but you can't change a sign like that. What has your church done in memory of all the LGBT kids who committed suicide because of the bullying and suffering they experienced, largely at the hands of other Christians? My name is Hemant Mehta, and I write at friendlyatheist.com. What do you want to see a video about? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll be sure to check it out. And don't forget to subscribe.